These mini citrus Christmas cheesecakes are about to become your signature holiday dessert. And wait until you see the handcrafted chocolate Christmas trees we're going to make to top them. I'm going to show you how to make everything from scratch, including these stunning red and green chocolate decorations that look way harder than they actually are. So let's get started. So here's what you'll need for this recipe. 100 grams of unsalted butter and 200 grams of your preferred biscuits. I'm going to use digestives. Half a cup of heavy cream, a teaspoon of vanilla essence, 500 grams of cream cheese, 1 tin or 395 grams of sweetened condensed milk, the zest of a lemon and a lime, and combined we need 1/3 cup of the juice from both of those. For the chocolate toppers, we're going to be using pre-colored chocolate to keep it nice and simple. You can, however, use white chocolate with a oil-based coloring to make your own colors. I'm using red candy melts, green candy melts, and some sprinkles to decorate them with. And the equipment that you're going to need is something to grate your zest with, a bowl, mixing and measuring implements, and for piping our chocolate, we're going to keep this really simple. We're just going to be using some parchment paper and some sticky tape. Okay, so step one is our biscuit base. For that, we're going to need 200 grams of crushed biscuits and 100 grams of melted butter. Now, I'm using digestive biscuits, and to keep the process really quick and simple, I've just used a Ziploc bag and a meat mallet. Now that we've got them crushed up, let's get them in with our butter and mixed up, ready to go into our containers. Okay, so mix your butter and biscuits through until it's nicely combined. Now, the key thing about this recipe is you can make one large cheesecake or you can make lots of little mini cheesecakes. The recipe works perfect for both. I'm going to be making mini cheesecakes today. I'm using a muffin tin, nice and simple, some cake liners, red and green to keep them Christmas themed, but it's up to you what you use. Okay, so the 2-to-1 ratio that I'm using for this biscuit base here is based on the fact that I'm using McVitie's digestive biscuits. If you decide to use a different biscuit for this base, the way that you can tell if it's ready before going through putting it into your tins is to pull some of it to the side, like so, and press it against the bowl. Now, if it forms this nice flat layer here, you've got a good consistency. If it kind of stays really crumbly like this, you don't have quite enough butter, and you need to add some more butter to this. If you press it against the edge here and butter oozes out of the biscuit, you put way too much butter in and you need to add more biscuit. Okay, so let's get this biscuit base into our containers and into the fridge to set for between 20 to 30 minutes, which will give us plenty of time to make our cheesecake filling. Now that our biscuit base is cooling in the fridge, it's time to move on to making the filling. And the first thing that we need to do is to beat our cream cheese until we get it nice and smooth and fluffy. This will take a few minutes, depending on whether you're using a mixer or you're beating it by hand, it will take longer. Now, if you live in a zone where it's not too hot, you can speed this process up a little bit by leaving your cream cheese out on the bench for half an hour to an hour before starting. However, if it is warm where you are, don't risk it. Okay, so I've been beating this on medium speed for about 3 minutes. Let's take a look at consistency. Oh, beautiful. Nice, soft, light and fluffy. It's time to start adding our other ingredients. Okay, so now we want to add the rest of our ingredients. And we're going to start with the sweetened condensed milk. I'm going to add it in portions, so roughly 1/3. This doesn't have to be a science. Roughly 1/3. We're going to mix that through until it gets nice and silky, and then keep repeating until we have all of our condensed milk mixed through. Okay, so I'm just adding the cream here, about half, just to add it in batches. My lime and lemon juice again, just about half. Pop all of the vanilla essence in here because it's such a small amount. And we'll just let that mix through for a moment before adding any more. It's looking nicely combined, so I'll add the rest of our ingredients, other half of our thickened cream, the rest of the lemon and lime juice. And once those have mixed through, I'll add the zest. Okay, our bases are ready to go, and you can tell by just lifting one out, making sure it's solid. If it's still a little bit squishy, you might want to pop it back in the fridge for a little bit longer. Let's get our toppings in. Okay, so to get our chocolate ready for these toppers, there are two main approaches we can take. One is putting it in the microwave for 30-second bursts, stirring in between until it's melted. The other is over some boiling water, and that's the approach I'm going to take. So in the bottom saucepan, I have some boiling water, clean, dry, top saucepan. Pop a little bit of chocolate in there. We're not going to use too much to begin with because we can continue to add as we go along, and I'm going to allow that to melt. Now, whilst that's slowly melting, we're going to make our piping bags out of some parchment paper. And then we have our piping bags. So while I'm waiting for the chocolate to finish melting, I'm just going to prepare some rectangles out of parchment paper to pipe my chocolate onto. Now you don't have to do this, you can just pipe it straight onto one large piece of parchment, or if you have a baking mat that you like to make your chocolate on, whatever you prefer. I like to make them on these little squares though, because it makes it a lot easier when you have an individual chocolate topper like this to peel the paper off it without damaging the chocolate at all. Okay, my chocolate is all melted and ready to go, so let's get prepared. Now you're going to be keen to fill this up completely, but I recommend just fill it up about halfway. You want to be able to keep easy control over the piping bag, and you also need plenty of space at the top so you can fold it over to stop the chocolate from coming back out as we are piping it. Now you can make your tree any shape that you like. I'm going to use a zigzag design because I'm going to start with green and then I'm going to come back over with red afterwards. Now don't worry if they don't look perfect. They're not meant to look perfect. We don't want them to look store-bought. We want them to look handcrafted and personal. And as you can see here, I've gone about making them all slightly different. Firstly, I think that gives them a little bit more personality, but also just to show you that you're free to make them however you want them to be. Okay. Now it's at this stage that I am going to get my little star toppers onto the top of the chocolate before adding the red. I think that this is a great place to secure them in place. It also means that if we do come back through with the red chocolate later and they haven't stuck in place as well as we had hoped, we can use a little bit of the red chocolate to finesse that in. Okay, so let's repeat the process for the red chocolate. So same thing, saucepan inside, another one with the boiling water. We'll let that melt. Prepare our little piping bags. Now, you actually don't have to even go this far if you want. You can just use a Ziploc with the corner cut off, but be prepared that if you are using a lower quality Ziploc bag, it's going to get really, really hot in your hands. So I would recommend going down this route if you don't have a proper chocolate bag. So let's basically repeat the exact same process we just went through. Again, keeping in mind, you do not have to make this perfect. Whatever design you come up with will be just great. Alright, so for this next stage, you're going to need something from your freezer. So an ice pack works perfectly, a bag of peas, some frozen carrots, doesn't matter what it is, just something you can get relatively flat, yeah? So the next stage is grab a already dried Christmas tree decoration, get rid of any excess sprinkles, pop your parchment paper down, let's get our chocolate ready. Go. And I'll show you this close up in a moment. We want to put a nice dollop of chocolate onto paper here. Get your tree and stand it up. Now you are not going to be standing here for ages. This is going to take about 15 seconds and you'll be able to let go and your tree will be freestanding. Perfect. So we had our decoration on. Nice size dollop of chocolate, and it doesn't have to be red, whatever color you want. You can, at this point you can make a brown chocolate, white chocolate, whatever you have available. Anything left over from the original process. And let's count it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Set. Our Christmas trees have been a great success. So now let's get them into an airtight container and into the fridge until we're ready to put them on our cheesecakes. Okay, so it's time for the fun part, the decoration. Now, as you can see, I have a few different store-bought decorations here because you may choose to not make the chocolate toppers as well, and these will make for amazing decorations too. But let's get to decorating. So we finished decorating and they're looking very festive. Regardless of whether you go with a handcrafted chocolate or some store-made decorations, you can still make these look fantastic. So let's take a look and see what they look like when we cut one open. So they cut super well, they look fantastic. I'm going to rope in a taste tester this time though. I'm going to get my husband to come and tell me what he thinks they taste like.
Horrible. I'm going to need to rest.
Here, take the rest of that one with you. Thank you. Thank you very much for joining today's video. If you've liked the recipe, please make sure to leave a subscribe so you get notifications of future videos. And if you'd like to see some more chocolate work, follow me over here where we go and make Willy Wonka's chocolate balls. See you next time.